Chapter 81 from the military. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When the 5 people heard Ye Qianxing, they were taken aback. You've got some guts, kid, wandering around the forest of demonic spirits. Did you take out all these scorpions? The captain asked. Ye Qianxing nodded, acting shy. He'd already nabbed the Scorpion King's body. These were just some low-level scorpions he left behind to see if he could stir up any other demons. Instead of demons, they attracted these 5. Nah, my dog did, Ye Qianxing said, pointing to Erbewu. Erbewu, ever the drama queen, launched into an Oscar-worthy performance, hamming it up as a total goofball. Well, that's what he is anyway. At this point, 250 hadn't transformed yet, so to the others, he just looked like a puppy. Plus, the dead scorpions were just the weakest kind, a dog taking out a few scorpions. With a little luck, sure, so they didn't question it too much. Too bad we're on a tight mission and don't have time to escort you out of here. The captain sighed. A light bulb went off in Ye Qianxing's head. Mission. He was curious now. What were these guys up to? Maybe he could snag a little something for himself. Could I tag along? Ye Qianxing blurted out. I promise I won't slow you down. He gave them his best puppy dog eyes. His acting was right up there with 250's. The captain hesitated, looking at Ye Qianxing's pleading eyes. Captain, I think we should take him. He's just a kid. He'll be shark bait out here alone, a chubby guy suggested. A real sweetheart. Alright, the captain finally agreed. Truth was, he didn't want to see a kid get killed in this demon-infested forest. Ye Qianxing quickly packed his tent and followed the group. After hanging out for a bit, Ye Qianxing learned their names and roles. The captain was Chu Xiong, and the kind chubby guy was Lu Hein. The other 3 were a couple of middle-aged guys and a teenager of about 18. They were all from the Jiangnan City military. The middle-aged guys were a special ops team, and the young guy, Deng Rong, was a student at Jiangnan City's Wolf Warrior Academy. Wolf Warrior Academy was like a military high school. Students who went there could join the military right after graduation, no college needed. It was also one of the schools competing in the upcoming 3-school competition. Judging by your age, you must still be in school, right? Chu Xiong asked with a smile. Yeah, I'm a freshman at Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School, Ye Qianxing replied. No point in hiding that. Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School. Chu Xiong and the others didn't say anything, but Deng Rong gave Ye Qianxing a once-over. Heard about the 3-school competition coming up? Yeah, Ye Qianxing replied, wondering where this was going. Who's your school sending? Deng Rong asked, and Ye Qianxing figured this guy was trying to get intel. Was he going to reveal that he was competing in the competition? Can't say. School secret, Ye Qianxing said with an innocent smile. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Wolf Warrior Academy's going to win anyway. I'm competing, by the way. And I can tell you, my spirit pet is E4 level. Deng Rong puffed out his chest. Ye Qianxing just smiled. Hey, there's always someone better. The geniuses at Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School might be better than you, Chu Xiong said, patting Deng Rong on the head. Deng Rong bristled. Hey, kid, what level's your spirit pet? F level. Ye Qianxing winced. If he wasn't trying to lay low, he'd have 250 transform and scare the pants off him. E4 level was nothing when he had 2 E6 pets. You got into Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School with an F level? Guess that school isn't all it's cracked up to be, Deng Rong said, looking even more unimpressed. Ye Qianxing thought this guy was getting a little too cocky. He might snap any minute now. He quickly changed the subject. What's the mission you mentioned? That's classified. You don't have the clearance, Deng Rong said seriously, then clapped Ye Qianxing on the shoulder. But don't get discouraged. When you get stronger, you can try to get into Wolf Warrior Academy. Then you'll be able to know these things. Ye Qianxing decided to shut up before he lost it. As the group went deeper, they reached a hill, and Chu Xiong suddenly held up his hand, signaling them to stop. What's wrong, Captain? The chubby guy, Lu Heng, looked around, alert. Something's not right. We should be running into demons by now, but we haven't seen a single one, Chu Xiong said, looking serious. Ye Qianxing had been wondering the same thing. Chu Xiong scanned the area. Beside him was a black wolf, spirit pet, brave werewolf, attribute, combat, rating, 2-star, level, E6. Not just Chu Xiong, but Lu Heng, Deng Rong, and the two other guys all had brave werewolves as spirit pets. Seems like that was standard issue for the Jiangnan military. Roar! Suddenly, without warning, a big lion leaped out from behind a boulder, radiating power. That's an E9 golden giant lion. Chu Xiong exclaimed. Get ready to fight. Everyone immediately got into fighting stances. Lu Heng pulled Ye Qianxing behind him. Kid, you gotta be careful during the fight. We can't promise we can keep you safe. Okay, Ye Qianxing nodded. He liked this guy. He. Just then, a creepy laugh echoed through the forest. A figure in a black robe stepped out of the shadows, standing next to the golden giant lion, stroking its head, and the lion seemed to enjoy it. Was the lion a spirit pet? And was this black-robed guy a spirit master? Chapter 82 The Mysterious Man in Black Robe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At first, the military's special forces guys figured the black-robed dude was some kind of spirit master. But Ye Qianxing, with his system-enhanced vision, saw things differently. Bar Book 69 New Reading, Evil Spirit, Golden Giant Lion, Attribute, Rock, Rating, 3 stars, Level, E9. Abilities, Lion's Roar, Petrification, Weakness, Water, Advancement Condition, Evolutionary Path. Thanks to the system's eye, Ye Qianxing could clearly see the golden giant lion for what it was, an evil spirit. See, people are still a little fuzzy on the line between evil spirits and spirit pets. Spirit pets usually come about when regular animals or plants get exposed to an evil spirit's inner essence and mutate. In a way, spirit pets and evil spirits aren't all that different. You could even say that spirit pets are just second-generation evil spirits. The main thing that sets them apart is whether they've signed a soul contract with a human. Friend or foe, basically, contract. Spirit pet. No contract. Evil spirit. So, from Chu Xiong's point of view, the golden giant lion wasn't an evil spirit at all, but a spirit pet. Ye Qianxing was scratching his head. If the system labeled the golden giant lion as an evil spirit, it couldn't have a contract with the black-robed guy, so how were they getting along so well? Who are you and what's your business here? Chu Xiong wasn't letting his guard down just because the other dude had a spirit companion. Heh, who am I? I'm nobody, just here to kill you. The black-robed dude cackled, and right then, the golden giant lion's chill vibe switched into overdrive. Roar! The golden giant lion unleashed a roar that shook the ground. Ugh! Chu Xiong and the 5 special forces guys all clapped their hands over their ears, half kneeling with pained looks. That was the golden giant lion's signature move, Lion's Roar. It wasn't just intimidating. It was a sonic blast. If it went on too long, it could shatter their eardrums. Ye Qianxing frowned too. The roar affected him, but his physical condition was on par with an E-level spirit pet, so he wasn't as bad off as the others, but he was playing the innocent kid, so he went down too, pretending to be in agony. Awoo! The 5 werewolves howled. Sensing their masters in danger, they charged at the golden giant lion. A few mutts think they can mess with my golden giant lion. Heh, tear them apart. The black-robed guy gave the order, and the golden giant lion barreled straight for the werewolves. First up was Chu Xiong's werewolf. Being the strongest of the bunch, it went for the golden giant lion's neck, but level differences mattered. Chu Xiong's werewolf was only E6, while the golden giant lion was E9, practically D-level. The golden beast swatted the werewolf with one paw, so fast it sent the wolf flying, rolling across the ground. Then the other 4 werewolves jumped in, biting the golden giant lion, but its hide was too tough. The wolves might as well have been gnawing on a rock. They couldn't even scratch it. Roar! The golden giant lion roared again, and the 4 werewolves were blown away by the force. the war wolves were down in less than a minute. The golden giant lion kept lumbering towards Chu Xiong and the others, its eyes gleaming with bloodlust. Fire! Chu Xiong yelled, and submachine guns appeared in their hands. They started spraying the golden giant lion. Too bad those guns were about as effective as a tickle on a beast that strong. F-level evil spirits, maybe, but not this close to D-level monster. The golden giant lion's hide started to turn to stone. Bullets bounced off, making sparks, but doing no damage. It roared and charged at Chu Xiong. The bullets rained down, but it didn't even slow down. "Captain, watch out!" Lu Heng shouted, diving in front of Chu Xiong. Bang! The golden giant lion swatted Lu Heng aside, sending him crashing through a small tree. "Fatty Lu!" Chu Xiong yelled, his eyes bloodshot. "You beast, I'll kill you!" He dropped his submachine gun, pulled an alloy dagger from his boot, and stabbed it into the golden giant lion's neck. The golden giant lion dodged, but the dagger still went in, sticking into its back. Golden blood spurted out. That alloy dagger could actually hurt an E-level rock evil spirit. Too bad he missed the vitals. Instead of killing the golden lion, he just pissed it off. It roared and slashed at Chu Xiong with its claws. Chu Xiong's face went pale. Was this it? Was he gonna die? The golden lion's claws got bigger and bigger. Just when they were about to strike, the golden lion froze, its eyes glazed over. "What are you waiting for? Get out of the way!" A shout came from behind. Chu Xiong didn't know what was going on, but he reacted on instinct. Stumbling backwards, the golden giant lion snapped out of it, but it didn't go after Chu Xiong. It looked around, wary. Something had messed with its mind. Chu Xiong stared at Ye Qianxing and his husky. He figured Ye Qianxing was the one who shouted. Could he have stopped the golden giant lion, too? But he thought Ye Qianxing was just some high school kid. How could he have that kind of power? But he had to believe it. Well, seems you guys got a ringer." The black-robed dude sounded surprised. Looking at Ye Qianxing, he knew something from the husky had stunned the golden giant lion. "I've been wondering how you control evil spirits." Ye Qianxing said calmly. "No more playing dumb." He was showing his hand. Dang Rong was in shock. Hadn't he said he was just a freshman at Jiangnan No. 1 High? "Want to know? Join me, and I'll tell you everything." The black-robed dude grinned. "I think I'll pass, thanks." Ye Qianxing didn't budge. "Oh. What's your plan then?" the black-robed dude asked. Chapter 83 Ye Qianxing's Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "What's the other option?" the man in the black robe asked, showing interest in the kid. "I beat you down, then torture you until you talk." Ye Qianxing answered, giving him what he wanted. "Ha, little punk, what makes you so cocky?" "Just because of that dumbass husky next to you," the man in the black robe cackled, but this time Ye Qianxing could clearly hear the anger mixed in. "Arrogance or not, you won't know unless you try." Ye Qianxing smirked. "Since you're asking for it, I'll give it to you. Giant golden lion, tear him and that mutt to shreds." The man in the black robe barked the order, and the golden lion charged Ye Qianxing. "Hey, 250, this guy's dissing you. Teach him a lesson." Ye Qianxing told her Bai Wu, who flashed Era's trademark look of disdain. Instantly, it transformed, growing huge. It went from being a regular husky to a hellhound in a heartbeat, wreathed in black flames, radiating power. "No way, his husky can transform." Dang Roan rubbed his eyes, stunned. The giant golden lion was clearly taken aback, but he snapped out of it. So what? If it transformed, it's still just a dog. "Let's see if I don't rip you apart." The giant golden lion swiped a paw at 250, who dodged it, giving it a scare. The golden lion looked dazed again, but remembering the last time, he snapped out of it quickly, but even that second was enough. A stream of black flames spewed from 250's mouth, hitting the golden lion dead on. "Humph, those little sparks can't hurt the golden lion," the man in the black robe scoffed, but his expression shifted the next second. The instant the black flames touched the giant golden lion, it screamed and started rolling around on the ground. Hellfire burns the soul, not just the body. No matter how tough the golden giant lion's hide was, its soul was still weak. 250 wasn't strong enough to burn the golden lion to a crisp, but it could definitely make him suffer. 250, press the attack, Ye Qianxing yelled, and Bai Wu lunged at the golden lion, slamming a paw down, but the giant golden lion was still thrashing and rolling. So what if your flames can hurt the soul? You still can't get through the golden lion's defense. When the golden lion recovers, you're toast, the man in the black robe sneered. While he was surprised that 250's flames could burn the soul, he still had confidence in the golden lion. You sure about that? Ye Qianxing grinned and walked over to Chu Xiong. Hey, Chu Xiong, can I borrow that alloy dagger from earlier? Chu Xiong was shocked by Ye Qianxing's power, but he knew now wasn't the time to ask. He handed the alloy dagger to Ye Qianxing without a second thought. Ye Qianxing took it, walked to the giant golden lion rolling on the ground, raised the alloy dagger, and plunged it into its neck. The man in the black robe was shocked. He had just seen the dagger pierce the giant golden lion's hide. If Ye Qianxing's dagger kept stabbing, the golden lion would die for sure. Stop it, kid, the man in the black robe roared and lunged at Ye Qianxing. Wish granted. Ye Qianxing smirked, giving up on the golden lion and stabbing at the man in the black robe instead, but then something surprising happened. The man in the black robe was faster than he expected. She dodged the attack and grabbed Ye Qianxing's wrist. Ha, you're done for. The man in the black robe sneered and squeezed, trying to break Ye Qianxing's hand, but Ye Qianxing was one step ahead, kicking the man in the black robe. The man in the black robe stumbled back and Ye Qianxing stared at him warily. That one exchange told him the man in the black robe was just as strong as he was, but he was only so strong because he had inherited a tenth of the power of 3 spirit pets. Could this man in the black robe have awakened too? Ye Qianxing was surprised, and the man in the black robe was just as surprised. No way, how can a human have so much power? The voice of the man in the black robe was full of disbelief. He didn't seem to know that spirit masters could awaken, and Ye Qianxing caught something else in his words. Human. Was he not human? If you want to know, come and get it. Ye Qianxing raised his hand at the man in the black robe. Humph, I don't know where you got your power, but don't think that makes you my match. I just underestimated you. I wasn't even trying. The man in the black robe said coldly. Then cut the crap and show me what you got. Ye Qianxing snapped. Go to hell, the man in the black robe roared, and his body blurred as he charged Ye Qianxing. His fist, hidden in his sleeve, shot out at Ye Qianxing. Ye Qianxing's eyes flashed with excitement. Since gaining this power, he hadn't really used it much. He hoped this man in the black robe wouldn't be a pushover. Facing the incoming fist, Ye Qianxing dodged, slashing at his neck with the alloy dagger. The man in the black robe was clearly afraid of the alloy dagger and dodged it. Ye Qianxing used the opening to kick the man in the black robe in the stomach. The man in the black robe only stumbled back a few steps, as if nothing had happened. You're strong, but not strong enough. You can't break my defense. The man in the black robe sneered, and Ye Qianxing frowned. The man in the black robe seemed to have an iron hide. That kick felt like kicking a steel plate. But this dagger can break your defense, right? Ye Qianxing smirked. This alloy dagger could pierce the giant golden lion, let alone this guy. The man in the black robe didn't answer, seeming to admit it. She stood there, hesitated, and finally sighed. You got lucky. But next time we meet, kid, you'll pay. The man in the black robe spat the words and ran off. The giant golden lion, recovering from the hellfire, saw its master bolt and took off after him. Don't let them get away. Chu Xiong shouted, but Ye Qianxing didn't give chase. That guy in the black robe is strong. I can't really beat her. Chapter 84, Theory of Spiritual Outfit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ye Qianxing sighed, admitting this was one tough opponent. If his makeshift weapon of alloy coins hadn't given the black-robed guy pause, he wouldn't have backed down. Chu Xiong, hearing this, finally calmed down, his earlier excitement over his teammates getting the better of him. they all rushed to check on Lu Heng. Luckily, he was wearing some seriously heavy-duty armored underwear, so his injuries weren't life-threatening. Ye Qianxing's curiosity was piqued. Alloy daggers that could slice through evil spirit defenses and life-saving armored underwear. Just how powerful were these things? Hey, man, we really owe you one, brother Ye. Otherwise, we'd all be toast, Chu Xiong said, still shaken. Yeah, brother Ye, you've been hiding your skills. Turns out you're a hardcore spirit master, Lu Heng chimed in, giving Ye Qianxing a thumbs up. They weren't dumb. Ye Qianxing was way more than just some lost explorer, but they didn't press him. If Ye Qianxing wasn't sharing his real deal, he had his reasons. He'd saved their lives, so they weren't about to pry. You guys have been cool to me this whole trip. Helping you out is no biggie, Ye Qianxing said with a smile, keeping it casual. His simple words hit Chu Xiong and the rest of the Special Forces team hard. Seriously, you saved our skins. If you ever need anything from us, anything at all, as long as it doesn't cross our lines, we're in, Chu Xiong declared, thumping his chest. Well, since you put it like that, I actually do have something in mind, Ye Qianxing said with a sly grin. Shoot, Chu Xiong responded with a wave of his hand. Your alloy dagger. Chu Xiong choked. Whoa, hold on, brother Ye. It's not that I'm being cheap. If you wanted something, even if it meant risking my neck, I wouldn't hesitate. But I really can't give you that dagger. See, it's not mine, it's the military's. They just let me borrow it for this high-risk mission, same with Fatty Lu's armor. Chu Xiong looked sheepish. He'd just said he'd do anything, and now he was eating his words. Ye Qianxing nodded, not holding it against him. No sweat, Chu. I was just kidding, Ye Qianxing said with a laugh, trying to ease the awkwardness. Then, he asked, hey, tell me about that dagger. What's the deal? It can even bust through a golden lion's defenses. It's no secret, really. That dagger, and Lu Heng's armor, are actually spirit weapons. Or, some people call them spiritual weapons, Chu Xiong explained. Same thing. Different names, Ye Qianxing was stunned. Weren't spirit weapons only for spirit pets? He voiced his confusion, and Chu Xiong chuckled. Yeah, a lot of people think that. Spirit weapons are usually used by spirit pets, but that doesn't mean humans can't use them. It's just that spirit pets tend to get more out of them. Most people aren't physically tough enough to really wield a spirit weapon properly, the effect just isn't as strong. You see spirit weapons used more in the military, because our training and experience are way beyond normal people. Some soldiers don't even like using spirit pets, they'd rather go head-to-head with evil spirits using spirit weapons. Chu Xiong's explanation clicked. So, that was the deal, which meant he could actually use spirit weapons. He was tougher than even some E-level evil spirits. With the right spirit weapon, he could be unstoppable. Listen, Chu, any chance you know where I could buy spirit weapons? Got any hookups? Ye Qianxing asked, all smiles. Nah, and even if you did, you couldn't afford them. The country keeps a tight lid on spirit weapons, like guns before the new era. But if you really want spirit weapons, I know a way, and it won't cost you a dime. Chu Xiong's expression became mysterious. How's that? Ye Qianxing asked quickly. Easy. Join the military. Earn enough combat points, and you can trade them in for spirit weapons. Hell, anything you can think of, as long as you've got the combat points. Exciting, right? You thinking about it? Chu Xiong was practically glowing, like a shady recruiter trying to reel in a newbie, but Chu Xiong genuinely wanted Ye Qianxing in the military. The guy couldn't be older than 18, but he had power to spare. His future was off the charts. Getting him on board would be a win for the military and the whole nation. Ye Qianxing winced. He'd been played. Does joining the military mean kissing your freedom goodbye? Ye Qianxing asked. Chu Xiong hesitated for a second, then sighed. Yeah, I can't lie. Once you're in, you follow orders, and freedom. Ye Qianxing paused, then spoke. Chu, I'm a freedom-loving guy, so the military is probably not for me. But don't worry, even though I won't be joining up, I know I'm Chinese. If the military ever needs me, I'm there. Sensing the shift in mood, Chu Xiong laughed, changing the subject. Huh, that's good enough for me, brother Yi. Okay, enough talk. We gotta get back and report on this mission. As for buying spirit weapons, I've heard there's a black market that sells them, but I don't recommend it. Too dangerous and shady. When I file my report, I'll put in a good word for you. Maybe my commander will give you a shot. Chapter 85 The Big Guys Gather Together. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Following the 5 Special Forces members, they left the Demon Spirit Forest and headed back to the city. As they were saying their goodbyes, Deng Rong from Wolf Warrior Academy approached Ye Qianxing, looking sheepish. I apologize for my earlier disrespect. No worries, I don't hold grudges, Ye Qianxing replied casually. He understood that Deng Rong was just young and hot-headed, not malicious, and there was no need to make an enemy of him. After a few more words, the group parted ways. Ye Qianxing returned to his apartment, and after cleaning up, realized it was already dawn, so, he skipped sleep and went straight to school. Today was the day of the 3-school friendship competition. Arriving at the school gate, Ye Qianxing found a crowd of students gathered. He quickly spotted Instructor Jiang Lin, Principal Wang, Xia Xiaoyu, and others. Oh, so you do know how to show up. We were just saying that if you didn't come, we'd replace you. Jiang Lin was furious. He was late even after she told him the time. Didn't he realize everyone had been waiting for him? Easy there, Teacher Jiang Lin, I'm here now, Ye Qianxing said with a bright smile, not wanting to upset the short-tempered instructor. As long as you're here, let's get going, Principal Wang said with a laugh, showing no sign of impatience. The competition was being held at Jiangnan Noblesse College. The 3 schools involved were Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School, Jiangnan Noblesse College, and Wolf Warrior Academy. Wolf Warrior College was a military-affiliated school, while Noble College, as its name suggested, catered to the wealthy and elite. Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School was more accessible. Anyone with decent talent could apply. In past competitions, Noble College and Wolf Warrior College typically took first place. Noble College had won last time, making them the natural hosts. Ye Qianxing and the others arrived at Noble Academy with a sizable entourage. The principal led the team, followed by the dean of students, several instructors, and nearly 100 student spectators. Outside the gate of Noble College, Ye Qianxing and the others gawked at the magnificent entrance, comparing it to their own. Suddenly, Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School's gate felt like a shack. Ahem, students, remember that a school is about teaching and learning. Fancy decorations are just window dressing, Principal Wang said, clearing his throat. He wasn't blind. He could see the students' eyes gleaming as they took in the impressive school gate. Even some of the instructors were envious, but Principal Wang couldn't change anything. As an aristocratic school, tuition was high. Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School only charged standard rates. Alright, let's go in. Even Principal Wang sounded unconvinced by his own words. Inside the school, things were even more impressive. Principal Wang was speechless. If we can't compete with their facilities, we'll just have to outshine them with our skills. In the end, actions speak louder than words, right? Ye Qianxing declared, earning a grateful look from Principal Wang. Exactly. Money's useless if you can't back it up, Sudala added, boosting the students' confidence. But then, a jarring voice cut through the air. Ha ha ha, the students of Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School are certainly enthusiastic. But confidence without results is just arrogance. You guys always come in last. Principal Wang's face darkened. Ye Qianxing quickly located the source of the voice, a middle-aged man about Principal Wang's age, leading several young people in expensive clothing. Without a doubt, this was the principal of Noble Academy. Past results don't matter to me. All I know is that Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School is going to be the one to watch at this year's competition, Ye Qianxing retorted with a slight smile, unfazed by the man's status. How dare you speak to our principal like that? A boy of 16 or 17 shouted angrily from behind the principal of Noble Academy. What's the matter? Does he have some special privilege that prevents us from talking to him? Sudala shot back without hesitation. It seemed only Xiao Liuxing could get under his skin. Well, Ye Qianxing was an exception. You. The Noble Academy student was silenced. The students of Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School seem to be all talk. Whether you're all bark or have some bite, you have to prove it. Let's go, the students from Wolf Warrior Academy are already here, the principal of Noble Academy sneered, leading his group in one direction. Ye Qianxing and the others followed closely. That's Dean William Luo of Noble Academy. Those students behind him are probably their competitors, but it's hard to gauge their strength, Principal Wang whispered to Ye Qianxing and the others. Doesn't matter. No matter how strong they are, they're not as strong as us, Ye Qianxing and Sudala said almost simultaneously. Principal Wang forced a smile, hoping they were more than just talk. They soon arrived at the square, much larger than the one at Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School. Many people were already there, including students from both Noble Academy and Wolf Warrior Academy. The students from Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School found seats. Ye Qianxing noticed a row of seats on a raised platform. The three principals were seated there, along with several prominent figures from Jiangnan City. He recognized most of them: Xia Luyun, president of the Jiangnan City Yuling Association; Su Hong, the leader of Mercenary City, and some of the big shots who'd asked for his help at Chuangshan Studio. Even brother Chu Xiong, whom he'd met just yesterday, was there. Come to think of it, Wolf Warrior Academy was affiliated with the military, so Chu Xiong, as a special forces captain, must have graduated from there. Sitting next to Chu Xiong was an old man in his 60s. Despite his age, he possessed the strong temperament of a soldier. Ye Qianxing had felt a similar aura from Chu Xiong. This old man must be the officer Chu Xiong had mentioned. Chapter 86. Another fool is about to die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The high platform seating was clearly a status display, with the center spot reserved for the most important person. That turned out to be Xia Luyun, undeniably the big cheese in Jiangnan City. To his left and right sat a middle-aged guy and an older man. Ye Qianxing figured the old guy was a military honcho, what Chu Xiong called the commander. The middle-aged man was a mystery, but clearly important. The principals of Noble College and Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School were across from them, lower in the pecking order. After all, they just ran schools. Greetings, students and faculty of the three colleges. I'm Luo William, Dean of Jiangnan Noble College. Thanks for coming, especially given how busy everyone is. We appreciate you watching the competition. William Luo gave a polite bow to the VIPs on stage. They just nodded back, not saying a word. They were there to scout talent, hoping to snag promising youngsters for their organizations. William Luo didn't let their cool reception faze him. He kept that smile plastered on. Now that everyone's here, let's get down to business. Here's how the competition works. We start with a three-way free-for-all. Each college sends in their best fighter. Whichever college has the last student standing gets a bye in the second round and goes straight to the team finals. For all his faults, William Luo explained it clearly. With three schools involved, someone had to sit out the second round. This free-for-all was the fairest way to decide that. Otherwise, there'd be griping. A quick word on the rules. We all know harming a spirit master is a no-no, but let's also avoid any fatalities or serious injuries to the spirit pets. Competition's important, but friendship comes first. After laying out the process and rules, William Luo paused to see if anyone had questions. Alright, since there are no questions, I officially declare the annual three-school friendly competition is now open. The audience erupted in applause as William Luo finished his spiel. So, who's up for the three-way fight? That the group started strategizing. No-brainer. You and Xia Xiaoyu are the strongest. But a brawl isn't exactly Xia Xiaoyu's thing, so it's gotta be you, Qianxing. Sudala shrugged. He and Zhou Yu weren't packing enough heat yet. They could beat each other, sure, but Ye Qianxing would be safer, even though 250 rarely gets involved in team battles. when he does, it's a game changer, a mental hiccup during the match. Game over. 250's shock tactics are devastating for weaker spirit pets, and Hellfire's soul-burning move is hard to defend against. Yeah, Brother Xing's our guy. Zhou Yu agreed with a nod. Zhou Lang just nodded too. Xia Xiaoyu didn't mind. She hated fighting anyway. Okay, I'll take the first round. Ye Qianxing decided. After the other teams made their picks, the three of them stepped into the ring. Ye Qianxing eyed his opponents, he recognized them both. Noble Academy sent the rich kid who tangled with Sutala, and lost, and from Wolf Warrior Academy, it was an old friend. Ye Qianxing couldn't help but chuckle when he saw Deng Rong. Wolf Warrior Academy really sent him? Why are you here? This is just bullying. Deng Rong gave a bitter smile. Once he heard about Ye Qianxing's power, he knew he was likely to be here. He'd been praying Ye Qianxing would somehow miss this, but no such luck. Sorry, gotta bring glory to the school. Ye Qianxing shrugged. TCH, Deng Rong, what's wrong with you? Scared by some kid? He's just a rookie from Jiangnan No. 1 middle school. The rich kid sneered. Deng Rong just rolled his eyes. He'd been just as dismissive of Ye Qianxing. Once, he knew the rich kid was in for a rude awakening. Don't worry, I'll do you a solid and take him out first. Ye Qianxing gave Deng Rong a small smile. The rich kid just heard arrogance. We'll see about that. Ironclad crocodile, attack, the rich kid yelled, and a massive crocodile covered in black scales lumbered out of the contract space. Spirit pet, armored crocodile, attributes, rock/water, rating, 3.5 stars, level, E5. Ability, powerful bite, weaknesses, divine water/ice, advancement qualifications, evolution path. Aren't you gonna summon your spirit pet? The rich kid smirked. I already did. Ye Qianxing shrugged. The rich kid looked around wildly. Are you kidding me? The rich kid roared. Nope. He's right here. Ye Qianxing pointed to her by 5 beside him. How could anyone miss that goofball? The rich kid was speechless. Your spirit pet, is that? The rich kid saw her by Wu, but figured he was just a pet, who would use a husky as a spirit pet. Yeah, what's the problem? Ye Qianxing asked innocently. Pfft, ha ha ha, the rich kid burst out laughing. You use a husky as a spirit pet? Are you some kind of joke? Hearing the rich kid, Deng Rong sighed, shaking his head and quietly moving away from the blast radius. Oh, another idiot about to get wrecked. Off stage, Sutala looked at the rich kid with sympathy. 250, did you hear that? Another clueless guy disrespecting you. Ye Qianxing seemed unfazed. He just patted her by Wu's head. Chapter 87. You give up, or I help you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is that the young man you were telling me about, the one who took down the Golden Lion and those cultists? The old general asked Chu Xiong at the judge's table. That's him. If it weren't for ye last night, all 5 of us would have been toast. Chu Xiong nodded, still shaken by the memory. Just him and that husky? The old general sounded skeptical. Chu Xiong chuckled humorlessly. General, I know it's hard to believe, I still have trouble wrapping my head around it, but that's exactly what happened. You can't convince someone with words, you have to see it to believe it. Hey, President Xia, isn't that Yi? Thought he was a trainer. What's he doing in the 3-school competition? A few tables over from Xia Luyan, a middle-aged guy in gold-rimmed glasses looked puzzled. It was the businessman who asked Yi to help with his family's love troubles at Chuangshan Studio. He's not just a successful trainer, he's a powerful spirit master too. Xia Luyan chuckled. Having heard the stories from his kids, he was surprised at first, but then it made sense. If Yi was that skilled in cultivation, he'd be able to train a powerful spirit pet for himself. I don't buy that anyone can master 2 different disciplines at once. And be good at both. The kid Yi is up against now is my nephew, he's a pretty talented spirit master. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses scoffed. He couldn't deny Ye's cultivation skills, but he refused to believe he was also a top-notch spirit master. It's just too hard to cultivate and control spirits simultaneously, let alone excel at both. Just you wait and see. Xia Luyun just smiled and didn't bother arguing. Head of the family, that's Zhou Wei's killer, Yi. Just then, the dean of Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School walked up to the middle-aged man next to Xia Luyun and whispered in his ear. You sure he's the one? The middle-aged man asked, his voice low. No hard evidence, but I'm certain it's him. He and Zhou Wei had a run-in right before it happened. The dean said with conviction, and the middle-aged man's face darkened. He glared at Yi on stage, his eyes hard. Whether you're the killer or not, Xiao Wei's lonely down there. I'm gonna send you to keep him company. At that moment, most of the bigwigs at the judges' table were watching Yi, but Yi was oblivious. 205 transformed on cue, growing larger and wreathed in black flames, an awesome sight. No way, the rich kid blurted out in surprise, and a gasp rippled through the audience. None of them had ever seen a spirit pet transform. Armored crocodile, don't be scared. It's gotta be a trick. Even if it transforms, it's still just some mutt. You're a powerful armored crocodile, the rich kid yelled, trying to pump up his spirit. The armored crocodile's trembling subsided a bit. Get him. Rip that mutt to shreds, the rich kid screamed, and the armored crocodile, forcing down its fear, charged at 205. Roar. 205 opened its jaws and unleashed a thunderous roar. The armored crocodile froze in its tracks, its eyes glazed over. 205 casually walked over, but the armored crocodile didn't react at all. Against a weaker opponent, 250's shock attack could completely incapacitate them for minutes, and for those minutes, this armored crocodile was useless. 205 nonchalantly put a back paw on the armored crocodile's back, and then, it peed. Iron-armored crocodile, what are you doing? Tear it apart. The rich kid was furious, yelling his head off, but the armored crocodile was unresponsive. What the heck's going on? Murmurs of surprise and disbelief rippled through the audience. Deng Rong knew that 205's shock attack could control even the giant golden lion, at least for a moment, which proved its power. How could a mere armored crocodile compare? Alright, 250, enough playing around. Finish it. Yi waved his hand, bored. 205 had no choice but to kick the armored crocodile, sending it flying out of the ring. The rich kid stood there blankly, not processing what had happened. So, you gonna concede, or do I have to help you out? Yi asked Deng Rong. I surrender. Deng Rong said with a wry smile, finally giving in. Against anyone else, he'd fight to the bitter end, win or lose, but facing Yi, it was pointless. The outcome was obvious. Prolonging the fight would just be embarrassing. Better to save his energy for the next round. Deng Rong and his brave warrior wolf left the ring. The first match was over in under a minute. Even as Yi walked off stage, the rich kid still wore a look of disbelief. How? Luo William was also shocked that Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School, always at the bottom of the pile, had pulled off a win in the first round. The facts speak for themselves. Deal with it. Principal Wang chuckled, having not felt this smug in front of William Luo in ages. Yi hadn't let him down. Don't get too excited. I underestimated you and didn't send in our strongest guy. We'll crush you in the finals. William Luo scoffed, then snapped at the dazed rich kid still on stage. Get down here already. The rich kid flinched, snapped out of it, and scrambled down from the ring. This defeat would probably screw him up for the next match, but this was the Noble Academy's turf, and William Luo could easily find a replacement. No rule against substitutes, after all. General, believe me now. Chu Xiong smiled at the old general. I do. He's a real genius. Wolf Warrior Academy doesn't have anyone with his talent, not even in the whole city. The old general said, his admiration for Yi obvious. The three schools in the competition were the top three in Jiangnan City. If he was better than anyone here, then he was undoubtedly the strongest of the younger generation in Jiangnan City. And not just the younger generation. Many veteran spirit masters wouldn't stand a chance against him. Chapter 88 The Psychic Three-Tailed Fox. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's a shame he doesn't want to join the military. With his skills and talent, he could have even taken my place someday. The old general sighed, and Chu Xiong nodded in agreement, feeling helpless. Alright, the first round is over. Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School gets a bye. The second match will be between Noble Academy and Wolf Warrior Academy. This is still a one-on-one competition. Please send your representatives forward. The host announced. Soon, a student from Wolf Warrior Academy stepped into the ring, but it wasn't Deng Rong this time. Neither academy showed off their best players in the first round, saving them for the finals, but the unexpected happened when Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School became the dark horse. This second round became a do-or-die for the two academies, forcing them to bring out their heavy hitters. Wolf Warrior Academy sent a dark-skinned young man named Su Zhu to the stage. Noble Academy countered with a pretty boy who looked like he just stepped out of a magazine. The girls from all three schools went wild. Xiao Zhan, I love you. Xiao Zhan, you're so hot. Xiao Zhan, I want to have your baby. That even Ye Qianxing's victory couldn't generate such feverish excitement. Seriously? Good looks are everything? Sutala asked, her eyes wide with disbelief. Nah, looks and money are everything, Zhou Lang mumbled. Humph, I'm way better looking than him. Ye Qianxing grumbled, but everyone just stared at him blankly. Teacher Jiang Lin, don't you think I'm better looking than Xiao Zhan? Ye Qianxing asked Jiang Lin, but her eyes practically lit up. Even though we're on opposite sides, I have to admit, Xiao Zhan is seriously handsome. Jiang Lin was practically swooning. Zhou Yu and Xia Xiaoyu agreed. Now I'm hoping Noble Academy makes it to the finals. That way, I can take out my frustrations in the ring. Ye Qianxing said, clenching his fists. Meanwhile, in the arena, Su Zhu summoned his E5 level Brave Warrior Wolf. It seemed that the Brave Warrior Wolf was the standard issue spirit pet for Wolf Warrior Academy, and even the Jiangnan City military. Xiao Zhan, you're pretty popular. I wonder if your fans will try to spit on me if I beat you. Su Zhu smirked. Don't worry, you won't get the chance. Xiao Zhan replied expressionlessly, which only made the crowd go wild. Ah, Zhan's so badass. I love it. Zhan is the best. He'll totally crush black coal. Su Zhu's face darkened, even more than usual. He thought, hey, I get you're a fan, but why the personal attacks? What's wrong with being dark? Is it bothering you? Besides, it's not black, it's a healthy tan. Quit wasting time, summon your spirit pet already. Let's wrap this up, I have training to get back to. Su Zhu snapped. Xiao Zhan slowly opened the door to his contract space. A snow-white fox with 3 tails walked out with an elegant gait. Spirit pet, 3-tailed spirit fox. Attribute, superpower. Rating, 4.5 stars. Growth potential, level, E6. Abilities, demonic tail, soul seal, charm. Weaknesses, demon type, ghost type. Advancement qualifications, evolution route. Everyone was immediately captivated by the beauty of the 3-tailed spirit fox. It's so white, so elegant. Look at black coal over there. It makes him look even darker. Su Zhu was speechless. Fine, fawn all over it. But did you have to bring me into this? Like the rest of the crowd, Ye Qianxing was shocked by the 3-tailed spirit fox, but he was even more surprised by its attributes. It was a superpower type. Superpower meant it had special abilities, and spirit pets with this attribute were rare. This particular 3-tailed spirit fox's abilities were insane. Charm was even more potent than shock, because it affected all members of the opposite sex. Spiritual pets with strong spiritual power, like ghosts and demons, were less susceptible. Successfully charming an opponent turned them into an ally. Shock only paralyzed them, while charm removed an opponent and gained a helper. Soul Seal was another crazy ability, capable of temporarily sealing a spirit pet's powers. However, Soul Seal didn't work on combat-type spirit pets, since their entire ability was fighting. Let's get this over with. Xiao Zhan whispered to the 3-tailed spirit fox, who nodded and padded toward Su Zhu's brave warrior wolf. "Humph, it's just a little fox, acting all high and mighty. Are you trying to lose on purpose?" Su Zhu sneered, patting the brave warrior wolf on the head. "Just don't jinx it." "Woof!" The brave warrior wolf howled and charged toward the three-tailed fox. "Oh, it's over," Ye Qianxing announced from the sidelines. "Isn't this just getting started?" "Why's it already over?" Sutala asked, confused. "Even if that fox isn't much of a fighter, it shouldn't get taken out instantly, right? It's not the fox that's going to lose, it's the wolf." Ye Qianxing shook his head, making Sutala even more confused. "Ye Qianxing's right. I didn't realize Xiao Zhan's spirit pet was a three-tailed spirit fox. This is bad news." Teacher Jiang Lin sighed. She seemed to recognize the three-tailed spirit fox and understood its abilities. "Don't worry, Teacher Jiang Lin. It's just a three-tailed fox. It's no big deal." Ye Qianxing smiled slightly. For some reason, Jiang Lin's worry melted away when she saw Ye Qianxing smile. She truly believed that Ye Qianxing could do anything he set his mind to. Just then, the two spirit pets started fighting. The brave warrior wolf swung its claws at the three-tailed spirit fox. The three-tailed fox didn't even try to dodge. Suddenly, a strange scent wafted from its body. When the brave warrior wolf caught the scent, it froze in its tracks. Then, like a puppy, it went up to the three-tailed fox and started licking its fur. Whether among wolves or dogs, this behavior was a sign of adoration and respect. Su Zhu was dumbfounded. Was this some kind of magic trick? Had his brave warrior wolf just betrayed him? Chapter 90, The game is over, something strange happens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The furious snow rabbit versus the fighting kangaroo, fire versus the fire crane, and Baymax versus the mechanical bear, the Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle and the stone spirit lion stood ready to defend their teammates. "Humph, Linghu, let them tear each other apart." Xiao Zhan sneered, and the three-tailed spirit fox started emitting that weird stink. Baymax and the Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle's eyes glazed over at the same time, but then a dog barked. "Woof woof woof." Baymax and the Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle snapped awake. Their opponents, however, were stunned for a moment, shocked. Sutala yelled, "Baymax, go for the zero blast." An energy wave of ice and fire instantly condensed in Baymax's mouth and blasted the mechanical bear. Bang! The mechanical bear went down hard. The mechanical bear's defense is almost as good as a rock type. "Your attacks can't hurt it," the mechanical bear's owner scoffed, but the next second, his smile vanished. The mechanical bear started twitching on the ground like it was having a seizure. "What's happening?" The owner exclaimed, disbelief written all over his face. "Why do you think it's me against the mechanical bear?" Baymax's attack is a mix of ice and fire, alternating between hot and cold. "You think you can withstand that?" Sutala smirked. This was too easy. Baymax's level was way higher than the mechanical bear's, and the ice-fire attack doubled the power. At the same time, the fighting kangaroo, who was battling the furious snow rabbit, got disoriented for a second from the shock skill. Xiaoyu seized the chance and landed a haymaker. The fighting kangaroo went flying, crashing out of the ring. "Why isn't the spirit fox's charm working on them?" Xiao Zhan started to sweat, but his face remained blank. It finally dawned on Ye Qianxing that this guy wasn't faking the cold act, he really had a stone face. "Fire, unleash hellfire and burn everything to the ground." Xiaoyu yelled to Fire, who flapped his wings, ready to fire off his skills. Just then, a halo hit Fire, and his flames sputtered out. Ye Qianxing looked at the three-tailed spirit fox. Sure enough, it had just used the spirit seal technique. "I don't know why you're immune to the charm, but the spirit seal will stop you from using your skills. What are you waiting for? Tell your fire-feathered crane to attack." Xiao Zhan barked at the fire-feathered crane's owner. The owner, startled, hurriedly commanded the fire-feathered crane. The fire-feathered crane flapped its wings, and two balls of flame engulfed Fire, setting its whole body ablaze. "Crap, the fire's amplified. What if my bird burns to death?" The owner gasped. Killing pets was strictly forbidden in the competition, but Xia Xiaoyu didn't seem worried at all. Wasn't this her pet? Why wasn't she freaking out? She soon realized the flames were slowly dying out, but the fire, being affected by the spirit seal technique, had no effect. The flames were just for show, they were harmless. That's incredible, that everyone gasped in surprise. At the judges' table on the platform, the old general smiled at Xia Luyun. That little rascal is your daughter. Like father, like daughter. I'm afraid she will surpass you in the future. Ha ha ha, Xiaoyu is definitely talented. It's only natural she will surpass me. Xia Luyun said without a hint of false modesty. With a monster trainer like Ye Qianxing around, Xia Xiaoyu was sure to leave him in the dust. Fire, attack, Xia Xiaoyu told Fire. The spirit seal technique restrictions were lifted. The three-tailed spirit fox was about to cast the spirit seal on fire again when the furious snow rabbit and Baymax charged at it. Bang! The stone spirit lion transformed into a giant stone lion, blocking Xiaoyu and Baymax. Shock. 2-5 used shock on the stone spirit lion, knocking it out cold. Xiaoyu, being the fastest, kicked the three-tailed fox with a wind and thunder step, disrupting its skills. Whoosh! A blast of cold air shot out of Baymax's mouth, freezing the three-tailed spirit fox into an ice cube. At the same time, Fire unleashed its Karma Fire Burning World Slash, instantly eliminating the fire-feathered crane. Now, the Noble Academy only had the three-tailed spirit fox frozen in ice, the mechanical bear having a seizure, and the stone spirit lion still dazed. We lost. Xiao Zhan's expression didn't change, but despair filled his eyes. Their Noble Academy lost to Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School. Even losing to Wolf Warrior Academy wouldn't have been this devastating. Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School, always at the bottom, had suddenly risen to the top. Ha ha ha, Principal William, sorry, in this tri-school friendship competition, Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School accidentally took first place. Principal Wang chuckled, emphasizing the word first. William Luo's face was as dark as a thundercloud, but with so many bigwigs present, he couldn't blow up, so he gritted his teeth and forced a smile. Congratulations to Principal Wang for finally getting first place. I hope you can keep it up next year. Luo William said with a strained smile. The message was clear: when Ye Qianxing leaves, let's see how Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School does. Principal Wang didn't care. He just laughed. We'll see about next year. At least I got first place this year. I'm thrilled. The host announced Jiangnan No. 1 Middle School as the winner. I declare this year's tri-school fraternity competition officially over. Please leave the venue in an orderly manner. William Luo announced. In previous years, when Noble Academy won, they'd treat everyone to a meal at school. Obviously, they weren't in the mood this time. The old general, Xia Luyun, and the others got up to congratulate Ye Qianxing. But a booming voice suddenly echoed through the air. I'm afraid you can't leave just yet. Everyone froze, looking up at the sky. Ye Qianxing followed suit, spotting a dozen flying pets in mid-air. People were riding on their backs. Ye Qianxing recognized a familiar pet, the Iron Feather Eagle King, and on the back of the Iron Feather Eagle King sat Kuei Shui. Kuei Shui saw Ye Qianxing and grinned wickedly, drawing his finger across his throat. The message was clear: Ye Qianxing, you're a dead man.